Here is Mark and Janet.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm as happy as I can be with all my life. Again, we had the game under control, but somehow found a way to choke it up like Bryn Forbes. I mean, it's the same song and dance every single night. Like, why do I even try with this team anymore? I mean, only reason why I still watch is because I'm passionate no matter how bad or how high the stress level is, you know. I was still watching last year, even when we had that train wreck of a season a year ago. Except the only difference this year is that it's not as bad because we started off the season so well. And last year, that 3-0 start when we won the first 3 games, including a DeMar game winner over Davis Bertans and the Washington Wizards. Davis's first game against us since we lost him because of Marcus Morris's bitch ass. That was just simply a fluke because we don't know how that went. And remember how COVID never shut everything down, including the NBA season? Well, even if that never happened, if things would have ran like normal in the world, we were going to miss the playoffs no matter what. So the stress level would have been done with sooner last year had COVID never hit. And yet I had to go through it the whole summer because usually in years past, summer was usually my stress-free time of year, with the Spurs, NASCAR, that's stressful too, but hey, not as stressful as Spurs basketball these days because Spurs basketball actually used to be fun for me to watch and not have to stress as much because we were always winning and kicking ass. But now Duncan, Manu, Tony, the backstabber, Danny Green, all those guys are gone. I mean, although to be fair, in the first year without Duncan in 16-17, we did have the squad to prove to the haters, like I mentioned many times in the past in my other videos, that we had the squad to would still be able to compete for championships and maybe win our 6th or more without Duncan there. And then, Parker had the injury in the second round of the playoffs versus the cheating McDouchebags. Kawhi. The Zaza thing was not the only thing of Kawhi. That of him getting injured in 2017. What most people don't remember is he hurt that same ankle in the cheating McDouchebag series shortly after Parker had his injury. And so I think he injured it in Game 5 when Manu swatted the hell out of the cheating McDouchebag himself, to end the game in overtime and save it for us. And he actually, because I think he played the first half, in that one, sat out the whole second half in overtime, and he sat out all of Game 6, and to rest that ankle, when we blew out the cheating McDouchebags on their home floor and eliminated their asses in that elimination game, and Jonathan Simmons went crazy, and then Kawhi came back stronger and better than ever in Game 1. Against the Warriors, and everybody remembers Mother's Day 2017. We were up 25 points, and then Zaza did the electric slide into Kawhi's ankle, and as they say, the rest is history. And then David Lee ended up in the wheelchair, and then Kawhi eventually quit on us before the 17-18 season began. And, actually, he didn't come. What people forget is that even though he quit on us before that particular season began, he came back to play 9 games in a row before eventually faked an injury and hid from officials, and had his uncle Dennis allow the medical staff to throw the medical staff under the bus to deflect blame and stole the $20 million, $19 to $20 million. And then DeJounte gets hurt then obviously we know Kawhi eventually got what he fucking wanted. If it was out of his control and had no choice, then fine, but he's the one who asked for it. And, the way he did it, everything, and he let his uncle get involved in his business. If that were me, my uncle, my dad's brother would have wanted me to get in my business of basketball. I would tell him to get out, but my uncle's not like that. Like Uncle Dennis's crazy bitch ass. And then we had DeJounte get his 18-19 season wiped out before it even started in the preseason. And then we had to have Derek White play the point guard all season long. And, you know, Parker ended up leaving, going to Charlotte because he didn't want to come off the bench. And he wanted to let DeJounte, and also he wanted to, like, give the keys to the starting point guard position to DeJounte. And it backfired because if Parker would have stayed, maybe we could have used his help. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he probably would have been the perfect mentor for Bryn Forbes, and maybe he wouldn't have been as bad the next year. You know, and with Parker leaving to Charlotte and DeJounte getting hurt, Bryn and Derek played amazing in that 2019 Denver series, especially Bryn. You know, I think if DeJounte doesn't get hurt in that year's preseason, you know, I think we would have made it as far as at least the second round. Conference finals, maybe. But that's as far as we would have gotten, maybe. The second round of the conference finals if DeJounte didn't get hurt and Parker didn't leave in the 18-19 season. And then, of course, we lost Bertans because Marcus Morris originally was going to fill that void and come play with us. And then he backed out. So we lost Bertans for nothing. So this is some stuff I'm going to address in my Lab Rat fanfics if I ever get back to that show full time, writing it, watching it, or both at the same time. And I'm going to address like the many different steps of the downfall of the Spurs dynasty, what you just mentioned. But since we didn't have a bionic David Lee on the bionic Spurs team, I'm going to replace him ending up in a wheelchair with me getting hurt as Duncan, you know, as reminiscent of March 20th, 2005, when 2 minutes into a Spurs road game against the Pistons in Detroit when I lived in Michigan, he ended up sustaining a severe ankle sprain, which kept him out from the next game after that, up until the penultimate game of the regular season. I remember going to school in the all-autistic school in Berger in Garden City, Michigan. You know, looking at Spurs galleries from the games after that, and it was just weird not seeing him there because we lost a lot of them, and it's a miracle he was able to come back the second to last game of the regular season and play in the playoffs. We win the championship and he wins Finals MVP. But anyway, let's just talk about tonight alone. I mean, that in the beginning was just me expressing my Spurs frustration because as a longtime fan since Duncan's rookie season, I'm not used to this. So anyway, we had the game under control. We had the team to beat. We were going to the front. I mean, how did we start again? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, we had like a 10-point lead, as high as a 10-point lead, and then the Blazers made it close, and then that's fine. Because Drew Eubanks had a career night, and DeJounte and Drew had a triple-double and a career night go to waste. I mean, the second quarter, Blazers were putting up a fight, and then we extended the lead to 16, and of course we blow the fucking lead, and then it looked like we were gonna put it away in the end of the third quarter, throughout most of the fourth, you know, when DeMar and Drew Banks wanted to fuck up Enes Kanter's bitch ass, like Fabricio Oberto. Yeah, so, yeah, it looked like that gave us the fire to put it away. And it was we had a semi-huge lead, and then Lonnie committed the biggest mistake. He had, Derek White open, and then I think that, who's the dude that swiped it from Lonnie? Trying to think. Someone told me on Twitter the mistake I didn't notice. Oh, yeah, Lonnie had DW open when Robert Covington stole that ball from him. And that Anthony Simmons dude really killed us. He's another freak of nature in the NBA. And when he stole that ball from Lonnie, earlier in the game, I thought when he dunked it, I thought he was going to do a Bobby Labonte 360. Because that would have been sick, no matter if it was, us or the Blazers. But anybody... Hang on, I gotta take a drink. Sorry about that, guys. But any player on any team, regardless of the Spurs or the Twins or other teams, when they do a Bobby Labonte 360 dunk, that is one of the best plays you can see in all of basketball. Not just any kind of dunk or layup, a Bobby Labonte 360 dunk or layup. DeMar did it in a game against the Clippers when, in like the year that DeJounte got his potential breakout season wiped out, the one I mentioned in my rant earlier. So, yeah. So, yeah. And then what was the mistake that, oh, yeah. Patty fucking Mills. Where did FIBA Patty go? The one that started off the year so well with the rest of the squad when we had two rookies in the rotation, mostly Devin. I mean, Pop with his stubborn old self wants to stick to his fucking vets. I mean, I get it. I'm old school too, but if I was a coach, I definitely give the keys to the youngins. Like, wasting time away in Margaritaville for young Devo as of now, living La Vida Luca, Trey Jones, and Matt Bonner 2.0, Quindary Weatherspoon. They're just rotting on the bench when they could be, putting the team on their backs, especially La Vida Luca, considering he's like a young Dirk. Because don't forget the other Luca in Dallas was teammates with Dirk in, the twilight of his career, which was really cool to see. I remember when we made that when I made that tribute to him, and then our last game of the regular season before the playoffs, and made him cry. And one of my celebrity friends was actually in the crowd for that game. Yeah, I think it was Nikki Tomlinson. Her and her husband were actually at that game because they're Dallas fans, and so therefore they went to San Antonio to see it. And my old pop culture teacher, Mr. Boone, he was in Spurs territory in 2017. Do you guys remember the one Spurs Cavs game in March 2017 when, it was on our home floor and the Spurs blew out the Cavs? And I was on TNT. Well, I was having a good time with that game down here, and a lot of my friends here in Ohio were thinking of me like, ooh, Mark's probably going crazy. And probably also a lot of my family on my mom's side and my dad's side. And I think, my pop culture teacher from back in the day was at that game too. He went to Spurs territory just to see the Cavs playing, and I'm pretty sure he regrets it now because I remember we blew his ass out of the water. Oh my goodness. But here's the thing. I wonder if he was actually thinking about me when he saw the Spurs stuff. I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot one of my old former students in pop culture, Mark, is a Spurs fan. I miss Berea High so damn much. I mean, that was a more simpler time, and that was when I heard about Rob Riggle on Victorious. Yup. I'm getting off topic here, but we made a lot of mistakes. Down the stretch. Pop just took young Devo out of the rotation out of nowhere and played fucking trash can Rudy Gay and Patty Mills. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Patty, but at the same time, I hate him. I love him because he's had time to take another drink. He's had a big impact on this team over the years, even during his early years here, when he was buried and deep in the bench behind bigger role players we had in the early 2010s. I get it. But, I mean, he was doing really good to start the season, but now he really stunk up the joint like Terry Labonte big time tonight. Here's what I tweeted. No points. He missed all 6 of his shots. He only played 21 minutes. And worst of all, he fucked up 3 kangaroos like Fabricio Alberto. And not in the way DeMar and Drew Banks wanted to do it to end his cancer, but for all the wrong reasons. So, yeah. Another winnable game that went down the tubes. So, 26 and 28 on the season. But look on the bright side. Technically, today is Saturday. I've been with my girlfriend Janet for a whopping Tony Stewart 20 months, and we have a date night on Tuesday night. So you might see a video on that the next week. I don't know, but I'm heavily considering it. It's either going to be a vlog or we're probably going to promote my own Wheel of Fortune fan recreation. So I'll decide in the days to come. But tomorrow I won't be able to watch a Spurs game or Nickelodeon Saturday Night because I'll be with my dad at his crib all day and all night tomorrow because we're getting our haircuts with cousin Kenny at his barbershop, and then we're going to his crib. We're going to hang out, have a good time, and maybe you might see some YouTube videos from my stepbrother and I, Kevin Daviduk. So subscribe to his channel, link in the description. Subscribe to, I'm going to read that channel name. What is it called? That does the Wheel of Fortune fan creation that gave me the to do Jeopardy. PARANoiAMX. It's spelled capital PARANO, lowercase I, back to uppercase AMAX. Subscribe to them too. Link is in the description because they inspired me to do these fan recreations more of Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, because they did Wheel of Fortune. But I'm going to do Jeopardy first, and so when we do these fan recreations at different times in my life, it's not going to be like the actual Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune shows or the schedules. Like, we're not going to do this every single day because it would get too tiring for me and Janet and whoever else is participating. And we're not going to do the schedule of start in the fall, end in the summer. We're just going to do it whenever we want. We're going to do multiple seasons of it, but we're just going to do one episode at a time. So I don't know though how much per we're going to do it, but we're going to figure it out. So I will see you all for the next video. Either some videos with my stepbrother tomorrow or a video with my girlfriend on Tuesday. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Yeah, you can tell I'm really, really frustrated with this team. A winnable game that went down the fucking tube. So I'm just going to walk away from this. So take care, everyone. Good night. And hopefully tomorrow night's game goes better. I doubt it will. But even if it doesn't, I'm glad I won't be here to watch that train wreck. So see you later, everyone.